But when you look at a sandwich packet, guys, who has ever seen a blue sandwich packet? Firstly, blue is the most undelicious color. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. So this morning I was scrolling on my Instagram and I was completely shocked at what I was seeing. I thought that it was a really cheap bag from like a Japanese brand that I used to follow like 5 years ago. I used to follow like Liz Lisa, 6% Doki Doki, like all those like Harajuku brands, and I just assumed it was from one of those brands, but I was shocked to see that this was actually Foxy LV's Instagram and that it was indeed a Louis Vuitton bag. So today I'm going to be discussing this monstrosity of a bag, the Louis Vuitton sandwich box. And guys, if you love shopping and handbag videos, I would super appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 8,000 subs, so please make my dreams come true. I would super appreciate it. In my opinion, I think that Louis Vuitton have been inspired by Moschino perhaps, or maybe they're going on the trend of having really like interesting food bags. I did make a video recently about the Balenciaga chips bag, the Lay's packet bag, before they had their cancellation for good reason. They, yeah, guys, you know, but the Balenciaga Lay's bag, I think, was a little bit more effective because it literally looked like Lay's and it was kind of like you had to do a double take. And I think that although I hate Balenciaga, it was kind of like a cool piece. However, this Louis Vuitton one just looks like a plain, cheap novelty bag. Now, you might disagree with me, guys, but I think it's because of the details of this bag, the color scheme, and the lack of like obvious branding makes it look like not a Louis Vuitton bag, and also the fact that it's got nothing to do with Louis Vuitton. I think that if you're such a premium brand like Louis Vuitton, you should have some sort of signature to every bag that you have. So I know that brands like Chanel are trying to also target young people and more mature people because they'll always have their classics, like, you know, the black classic flap. You know, they'll do more like mature color schemes like burgundy and brown, but then they also have their funky pieces like the heart-shaped bag and like little mini vanities, which probably appeal to younger people. Now Louis Vuitton, I feel like they're trying to capture not only girly girls, you know, with their like pastel princess collections, but then they're also trying to target like, you know, people who just go for the classics. So their monogram pieces, they also have their super premium pieces like, you know, alligator and all that. And then they also have this section of Louis Vuitton, or this flavor, which is a little bit more street style and like Harajuku vibe. And I just feel like having too many types of clients completely kind of confuses what the brand is about, and it actually devalues the whole brand and it becomes very overwhelming. I think that Louis Vuitton, they're just playing with too many themes throughout their whole entire brand. And I don't know, guys, like, I know that Virgil was very kind of, he did more street style stuff, a bit more sporty, but this to me, going over the line, it's like pushing the boundary into like, it looks like a completely different brand. This does look like a Moschino bag, but poorly executed, because if it was Moschino, it would be a little bit more playful, it'd probably say a little joke in there or something, and also I think the colors would be more representative of an actual sandwich packet. But when you look at a sandwich packet, guys, who has ever seen a blue sandwich packet? Firstly, blue is the most undelicious color. It doesn't make your mouth water. It's not like, you know, the reason why you don't see many blue restaurants is because blue is like a calming color. It's like a medical color. And like, if you're going to choose a color for like a food packet bag, I would choose red or yellow or even like orange or something. Like blue was like the worst choice of color for firstly. Secondly, the Louis Vuitton monogram is not obvious enough on this to make it look like a designer bag. And I know that a lot of people would say, Jess, you don't need a logo on a bag to make a designer, but for this you do. You need to have like really obvious branding. I think there should have been like giant LVs all over it or something. Then it would be like a little bit more effective. But this, when you're scrolling on Instagram, I literally thought this was like a $30 bag. Like, this does not look like a Louis Vuitton bag at all. And particularly when you look at the stitching, although it is very straight, my eye straight on went straight into the corner of that little handle where there's all these like little wrinkles, and then there's like some sort of bunching where the stitching is. Now I know that all bags are not perfect, guys, like we know this, but I think on such like a clean bag, having all this stitching all over it, it really ruins the kind of expensiveness of the bag, because this is something that this is like cheap like they should have worked out a way to make it so it was like no stitching. I don't know how to explain it, like do like binding on it or something, but the stitching really cheapens it for me. And particularly when you see this like very small creasing where the handle joins, I just think it looks very poorly done, in my opinion. Now this is coming from someone who used to own the beach pouch from Louis Vuitton. I really loved that bag when it first came out because I was particularly drawn to the pink monogram. I mean, the girly girl in me loved that, and I also loved how I could like display like cute objects in the bag. I just thought it was very playful. That bag cost me 1,000 Australian dollars, I think, 1,050 or so. And I thought that was very expensive for a PVC pouch, but I got it because it was Louis Vuitton, and it looks like obvious Louis Vuitton because of the big monograms on it. This is 2,310 USD, which in AUD converts to 2,310 USD to AUD. $3,450. So this is like more than 3 times the price of that beach pouch, and to me it looks, the stitching ruins it, because with the beach pouch the stitching wasn't as, there was like no big obvious stitching. They actually finished it with like this little kind of piping around the side, and and then it had a little cute little luggage tag on it, and I just think that this didn't look too bad. And it did look cheap, but not as cheap as this. I don't know, guys. Let me know if you disagree with me, but this bag, I just think they got it completely wrong. I really hate the freshly baked. I mean, the freshly baked font would have worked if they made it green and then had like a warm yellow background or something. Like something that reminds you more of a sandwich. I really don't know why they chose blue and purple for a sandwich bag. Like, this is more like a paddle pop color or something, or like an ice cream or a candy. Like, it is just like not well executed at all. And yeah, I mean, I was thinking just then, like, is it even a sandwich box? But it is, because it's called sandwich box. I'm sure it will be a collector's piece, and people who love Louis Vuitton will still buy it. So because it's a collectible, it is still of value, and who knows, maybe in like 5 years this will be worth even more. But I feel like this is really not the best, guys. Like, if I was going to go for a novelty bag, I would choose Moschino, or I would just choose a cheap brand, like something from Japan, like Harajuku, or yeah, I mean, somebody commented on this and said that it reminds them of a bag from Claire's, which is like a jewelry store in America, I think. We don't have it in Australia. Oh, and Devin, you commented. Devin, you love it. Well, Devin, I love your style, and I know I'm a sucker for little novelty pieces as well. So I get why you would love it, but I think your bags in your collection right now are way cooler. So yeah, anyways, guys, I just think Louis Vuitton kind of didn't do that well with this design. I think the fortune cookie was a little bit more effective because it looks like a fortune cookie, and the monogram is like obviously through the whole piece. And I do like how the fortune cookie comes with a PVC pouch. I think that's actually quite cool, but this is just really wrong. I also absolutely hate that the Louis Vuitton font at the bottom, and the LV monogram is just not obvious enough on it. Like, it's too subtle. It's just too much happening with the bag, and I just don't like it. So anyways, guys, let me know, what do you think of this bag? Does this kind of put you off Louis Vuitton? Does it make you question designers these days? And do you think that Louis Vuitton is going to change their direction next year? Because I feel like this is like hit like rock bottom, honestly. With this design, it is just like, I don't know, guys. It's just really tragic in my opinion. But yeah, maybe I'm being too brutal. Let me know. Thanks for watching my blabby video today, and I'll talk to you on my next one. Bye!